Picture this, you're in your closet and you randomly pick any combination of clothing and you put it on and you always look good and you always feel amazing. Can you imagine all the time you would save and getting dressed? Not to mention all the money you get to keep because you're not wasting it on things that don't make you feel good. Not to mention the uptick in your self-esteem. So today we are going over some outfit formulas for apple shapes. Now, this is not to be confused with wardrobe basics because I fucking can't stand wardrobe basics. So let's go. All right, y'all, normally I'm standing, but today I bulk filmed a bunch of videos and got low blood sugar. I'm just lucky to be here. So anyway, first let's make sure we are on the same page when it comes to an apple shape. First of all, it's a shape, not a size. You can be a petite apple, you can be a plus size apple, you can be a tall apple, you can be a tall plus size apple, you can be petite plus size apple, you can be a small apple, you can be a skinny apple, you can be a thick apple, you can be an apple with a big bust, you can be an apple with a smaller bust, you can be an apple with a big old butt, you can be an apple with but like I used to have before I started training. So apple shapes are defined as having a midsection that is wider than the shoulder width and the hip width. And you know, you can figure out if you're an apple for sure by taking your measurements. And if your midsection area is quite wider than your shoulder width and your hip width, you're an apple. If you are looking to balance an apple shape, here are some outfit formulas to consider. Now, outfit formulas, according to Google, are a combination of clothing items that you know work well together to create a stylish look. It's similar to meal planning for your wardrobe. Debatable. Now, as I mentioned before, like all body shapes, apples are a shape, not a size. Like I mentioned before, you can have all of these combinations and still have an apple shape. However, we're going to be talking in general apple body shape terms because if I were to make videos for every combination of every body shape that's out there, y'all would have to hire me as your personal stylist and you would have had to meet me 20 years ago in order for me to have the time to do that. But I do have videos on things like dressing a bigger bust, dressing wider shoulders, a bigger belly, etc. So you watch those and then you watch this and then you piece it together depending on, what makes sense for your body. So overall, the apple shapes, like I just mentioned, your widest area is your midsection area. And if you are looking to balance, keyword here is balance. If you are looking to balance, right? Because I'm not here to push an agenda and to steer you into a certain category that you don't want to be in. But my agenda here is to make sure that you look good so that you feel good. And then all of that just seeps into so many other aspects of life. Like all of a sudden you saving time getting dressed, you saving money because you're not wasting money on, that you buy it and you're like, oh, this is cute, but then you never wear it. That is my agenda here. However, if you want to wear whatever you want to wear, I don't know why you clicked on this video. But at any rate, if you're looking to balance an apple shape, the idea is to divide the midsection. And let's see who has been paying attention in class. What can we do to divide? What kind of lines? Ooh, me. Ooh. Yes, you. Diagonal lines. Correct. So our first outfit formula is blazer plus A-line bottom. Now, don't you click off this video, okay? Because I'm not limiting you to just blazers and relax, okay? Relax. I'm gonna show you some variations with this. Just give me, let me cook, okay? Now here's another thing we need to get on the same page with. Is this person an apple? I don't know. However, I do know that this silhouette, this outfit would look good on an apple shape to balance an apple shape. Now, let me tell you something again about imagery and, being able to showcase you things. I'm limited to what I can show you, and AI is just not there yet. Like sometimes I put stuff in AI and I'm like, what the hell is this? Sometimes the people ain't got no legs and I'm gonna need the people to have legs. So until the budget is increased, this is what I got. Now, you see that lovely diagonal line. There's a couple of them in there. There's a bunch of diagonal lines in here. Now, the main one that we are looking at is the one that is dividing that apple shape, that midsection, and it's also snatching the waist. And the beauty of a top like this is that it snatches without feeling restricting, because probably if you like me, the last thing you want to be is, be squeezing into an outfit feeling like like you about to pop. Like, no, that don't nobody want to do all of that, okay? You can be comfortable in this. You can sit down and get up very quickly in this without, popping a button. And the pants here also are great for an apple. Apple shapes tend to have more narrow hips, and the wider leg opening on these pants help to balance out narrow hips. And here's another example of this outfit formula, but with someone in a different size. So you see, you got the snatchation at the crisscross. That diagonal line that's right there is just dividing and it's snatching without feeling, restricting. Now, let's look at some more outfits that are in the same vein, but isn't, exactly a blazer, dude. I told you I was gonna give you some variations. So look at this outfit here. So this also snatches the midsection area. Now, be careful if you're an apple that has a bigger belly, as the way that this hits could emphasize that. However, you can still have something that's a similar silhouette. Maybe instead of having the buttons that come down, you might have something that's more of like a wrap, kind of more like the previous blazer. And then this outfit is also amazing because you also have that wider leg opening that is going to help to balance the more narrow hips that are typical of an apple shape. Now, here's another example, some more variations. So this also gives that kind of snatchedness and a division that you're gonna get with a blazer, except this is a blouse. I'm actually gonna see if I can find more tops like this, and if I can, I'm gonna link them in the description. So make sure you check out the description box so you can shop similar pieces. Because, another thing that's a little challenging when, with pictures like this is that I don't know these people. I don't know where their clothes are from. These could be pictures from 10 years ago and outfits aren't available. So sometimes I'm unable to source the clothing, but I can find you something similar if I can. Now, here's another example with a maxi skirt. You've got that diagonal line that is helping to snatch and to divide at the midsection. And then you've got the balancing of the hips with the flowy skirt. And here's another one. You get the idea with the snatching at the waist area. This one is paired with a short skirt. Now, the short skirt could narrow or bring more attention to more narrow hips that are typical of an apple shape. But you see how the blazer flares out after the waist? Those diagonal lines there help to give the illusion of fuller hips, thereby helping to balance an apple shape. Here's another one. You've got that cinch and that snatch at the waist, and then you've got the A-line to help balance the hips. Very lovely. Here's another one. Now, you don't have to have the leg of the pants be this wide, but you get the idea. Here's a similar look to the last one, but someone in a different size. And this look here shows that you can have fun within your outfit formula. It's not like very restricting. It's like you follow the silhouette, but if there are certain fabrics or colors or textures that you tend to gravitate more based on your personal style, go for it. This is not to be like some wardrobe basic where it's like, well, you gotta have a button-down blouse and you gotta have white sneakers and you gotta have a pair of skinny jeans. No. And it's funny that I mentioned that, you gotta have a button down when I'm about to hit y'all with a button down. I'm about to hit y'all with a button down here, but listen, I'm giving you some ideas. I'm not saying that this is something that you have to have in your wardrobe. The idea here is really to look at the silhouette and where things are cinched and where things have more volume so that you get an idea of how it's going to cinch and then, give the illusion of fuller hips. And if you're like, okay, I don't want my hips to look full, then you get something that's less voluminous, that's less of an A-line. Now, okay, here I am hitting you with the button down. Now, if you felt like the blazer's too much, and sometimes, it could be a little hot for that, although I did show you some sleeveless blazers and, some things that you can play around with. However, if that's, too much, you can do something like this. And what I like about this is that it's the styling of it that really helps to balance out an apple shape, because you can have something like this in your closet and maybe, the way you were styling it before, you're kind of like, ooh, I don't really like how this looks on me. But you see how simple that, you can do that. You can put tuck that in a little bit. Does that count? I feel like this doesn't count as that millennial front tuck that people used to do. Now, I started laughing when I saw this because we did that video where we were reacting to, things that are out for 2025 that Shay Whitney had on her channel, and the front tuck was one of them. But, here I am with the button down. But listen up, if the blazer was too much, this is another silhouette that you can do. And it doesn't have to be a button down, but the great point that can be made here here is that this goes to show that with a little bit of styling, now nobody's saying that you have to be Laura Roche or June Ambrose or, you know, some big celebrity stylist. You can take simple little tweaks to something that you have in your closet that, you know, before you're like, oh, I don't feel my best in this. There might be a little tweak that you can do with the styling to make it more flatter your body type. And this is a half tuck that also makes a diagonal line, which helps to divide the wider midsection of an apple. And then here's a look that combines both. Now, here's another outfit in a similar vein of the silhouette that we've been talking about in these outfit formulas. This is going to cinch at the waist, and then the peplum is giving the illusion of fuller hips, which can help to balance the typically narrow hips of an apple. Here's another look in a similar vein. Now, in some cases, if you're like, oh my God, I cannot find a vest that does that or something that does that. So what you can do, you just get a regular vest or a regular top, maybe go up a size or two and then wrap it around and then tie it with a belt or a sash or whatever. And it, you know, you just made some fashion on your own. All right, so say you're not feeling any of these outfit formulas that I just showed you. I don't give a f. No, I'm just playing. The idea here is to find items that give the illusion of a snatched waist and divide the midsection. So even if you're watching this at a time where, you know, maybe I do have things linked in the description and you can't find them, it's still a guide that you can use where you can shop wherever you shop and at whatever time of year that you shop. You know, you just make changes accordingly to, you know, the season. Maybe, you know, you need a long sleeve or a thicker material for the winter and, you know, yada, yada. You know how to shop. Now, you guys, I would love to make this outfit formula thing a series here on the channel, because Lord, sometimes it is a lot trying to come up with video ideas for this channel. And if there's a series, then, you know, each season I could just, you know, have the same similar video idea and just switch it up for the seasons. That would make my life so much easier. And the only way that that's gonna happen is, you know, depends on how this video does. So if this video does great, then maybe we can have ourselves a series. Now, if you also happen to have a bigger bust in addition to an apple shape, make sure you check out this video right here where I give you tips on what to wear for a bigger bust. Click on this video here and I'll see you there.